Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Rio, and today we're going to be talking about Bonnie Ann, the Fox Highlander herself. Now, I want to give probably two videos. So one will probably be a YouTube Shorts, like a 60-second version, just very brief. And then one will be this video, which is like a longer, bit more in-depth discussion. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. Now, Bonnie Ann is honestly just an overpowered unit, alright? Especially for team PvP. Now, she has two main like talent setups. One is more of like an anti-charger setup, anti-melee, and then one is more of an anti-musketeer setup. And I'll go over both of them. So let's get right into it. Now, if you're using Bonnie Ann for team battles, or mainly using her to counter musketeers, then you use this setup right here. So essentially, she has double tap 2, burst fire 2. You can put that in every setup, no matter what. They're just her basic chains. Then you have quick draw 3 and return fire 1. The quick draw 3 allows her to do a lot of counter musket stuff and get extra damage in when fighting muskets. Now, as you can see, I have return fire, and this is just an extra anti-musketeer ability. So if she gets a lucky dodge, or maybe she has zeal, or someone's reduced, you know, she can get a dodge and get an extra hit. And return fire does a lot of extra damage. So it's very, very good. Overall, this setup is what I use my Bonnie Anns since I mainly play team PvP. Just a really strong counter musketeer setup. Now, right here is where we have the anti-charger, more of anti-melee setup. And this can also be used for team PvP. Maybe if you're fighting a lot of Goros and Nausicaas, or maybe you're fighting a Buccaneer pirate. This still could be a good setup. But for the most part, if you're setting for team PvP, I'd recommend Quick Draw 3. But let's talk about this setup. You're essentially swapping out the Quick Draw 3 for Overwatch 3. And then you're swapping out the Return Fire for a Quick Draw. I do want to say that you could opt for no Quick Draw and have like a Return Fire just so she does not get ripped by musketeers. So you could honestly use this setup if in like team PvP, if you wanted to actually not get hit by like Exeters and stuff, to have no return, or to have no quick draws and whatnot. Just a thought, but for the most part, you're gonna have Overwatch 3 quick draw 1. The quick draw 1 is just for if you do fight a musket, you at least have one quick draw for an extra hit. And then the Overwatch 3, once again, for anti-chargers. Now, there is another setup that you can do. You swap out the quick draw for a third double tap. Now, this does make the double tap go off of agility instead of accuracy. So maybe if you're just trying to like rip privateers, it could be pretty good. You can use her as like as to counter a privateer pirate by getting her a bunch of criticals and guaranteeing hits and all that. But for the most part, this is the anti-melee setup. Now let's talk talents real quick. Obviously, you give rough, tough, and accurate. These are just, you know, the standard talents. But I put my last 4 talents into dodgy for both setups, just due to the fact that at least on this setup, you know, the Overwatch 3, it can be nice to then have that combined with dodgy to really give them as least of a chance to hit your Bonnie Ann as possible. And then for the quick draw setup, it's nice because you have that return fire, a little more chance of that. And also just due to the fact that if I'm against like Exeters and whatnot, I want to not get, you know, stunned and whatnot, and it just reduces damage done. But you could put agility if you're just putting, if you just want a bunch of chains from her. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely a choice. But yeah, and then obviously the last talent just goes with that 1 agility. It's not much, just a little something. Now, after her last promotion, she gets this ability right here called Stock Assault, and she gets this right here, Stock Assault, the return attack, like return melee attack. So if a melee unit hits her, or sorry, misses her, and it's especially common with this Overwatch 3 setup, that she will, you know, go against a melee unit, the melee unit will miss, and then she will use this and hit them with a melee attack. This can trigger stuff like Vengeance Strike, which can destroy your Bonnie Ann, because, you know, if a melee unit, like a Temujin or something, gets like a lucky dodge for you, and then she just hits him, triggers Vengeance Strike, and then ends up dying anyways, you're gonna be mad. So it is a possibility to intentionally not promote your Bonnie Ann so that she will not have that melee hit, because especially for this anti-charger Overwatch 3 setup, that 8th talent Like usually like an extra quick draw or something. If you're just going against melee, it won't really be helpful anyways. Or that return fire, you know, it's not that big of a deal. So some people intentionally not promote her, so she does not have that return stock assault thing. Alright then, so now let's talk about her powers. She has this stock assault. It's just a quick melee hit. Oftentimes I just use this maybe to like kill a pet in a team battle while I move her like behind a pillar, or if I do not want to like trigger another musket unit, like I don't want to, I don't know, trigger like Pepe quick draws, or if I don't want to have like an Exeter True Grit get triggered or whatever. It's just a possibility to just hit with that melee hit. Now next we have Second Wind. Restores up to 25% health with infinite range. So essentially, if a unit's 25% health or below, it'll just heal them 25% of their total health. And the other thing, if they have over 25% health, then it'll just heal 25% of the health that they're missing, if that makes sense. So this is really good for team battles if you have like a witch doctor or something who's spamming Morn songs and big guns and stuff on like a specific unit and they take a lot of damage. You can oftentimes Bonnie heal them. And maybe like Bonnie heal and absorb and pretty much ensure that they're not going to get killed by a combo the next turn. Or just a unit just gets super damaged, you can just heal them up. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory ability. Super, super nice. And then finally we got Scatter Blast. 5 range. Overall, just a nice little AoE hit. Really good in team battles when there's like a big musket line or just a bunch of units in general. And you can hit them all. Also reduces their dodge by 25. Which can be good against, I don't know, units like Contessas and Swashbucklers that have high dodge. You can reduce that. It's especially good if you can reduce the dodge and then have another melee unit like a Peter Quint or something who now can take advantage of that less dodge and start hitting something like Contessa, right? So yeah, very, very good. Now, Bonnie Ann is also a 5 range unit. Part of what makes her so overpowered. She is just super, super nice. Yeah, there's not much else to say, man. Bonnie Ann is an awesome companion. I really hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Hopefully it helped. If it did, make sure you leave a like. Comment if you have any more questions about this character or anything. Overall, super nice character to use. I use her a lot. And yeah, that's it for this video. Peace out.